Good morning, everyone. This is Curtis Hawks with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and I want to thank everybody for taking the time today to be on the call with us. We've got a very interesting topic. We've got Gary Voith here on the call with us today, talking about SPL, and he's going to be doing a deep dive into how those products work, as well as what the opportunity is in the marketplace. And so I know we've got a mix of advisors that currently work with us. I know we've got some advisors that are new to IMS or looking at IMS. And so before we get into the main event, I wanted to take just a couple of minutes here to talk about some of the additional ways that IMS can partner with you and help you with your business. So first off, we've got our new producer builder program, and this is really a great program to help an advisor get started with us. And really what it's designed around is to try and meet you where you're at and help you to get to where you want to go. We know advisors throughout the country are at different phases of their career. They have different goals, different target markets, all those types of things. And so what we've tried to build out here is a platform that no matter what you're doing in your business, no matter where you're at, as you can see here, as you're producing business with us, we've got a number of different options for ways that we can partner with you. What I would also mention to you as well, and this is kind of a cornerstone of who IMS is that we have a very heavy emphasis on customization of services. And so if there's something that you're doing in your business right now that's working really, really well for you, reach out and talk to one of our sales directors. They'd be more than happy to talk to you about how we can help support that as you get going with us as well. Next, we've got our IMS business builders, and we've got a couple of different things here that I want to talk about. First off is our referred producer program. And this program, if you're currently working with us and you like the work that we're doing and you know an advisor that you think might be interested in talking with us, send them our way. Not only will you get a cash bonus when they get contracted with us, but you'll also get an additional cash bonus when they write their first piece of business. And then I think this is really a differentiator on an ongoing basis, on a quarterly basis. As that advisor's working with us and doing business, you'll get checks. And these are some of the biggest checks that we actually cut over here at IMS. And the great thing for you is we'll take care of everything. We'll service that agent, take care of them, help them with their business, all those types of things. You're just getting checks cut out to you on a quarterly basis. Next, we have our marketing reimbursement program. And again, as we know, there's been some significant challenges when it comes to marketing this year. And so this is a great way to really double your marketing budget. And so having that additional capital to get in front of more people, not only does that help when we're having challenges in a year, but then it makes those good years that much better. And so whether it's annuity or life insurance business or single premium like we're talking about today, it's a great way to increase your marketing dollars and increase your advertising budget to get in front of more people. Back office support. So, service on its face, everybody talks about having good service. And again, I would tell you we've got some of the best service in the industry, but I do feel like over the course of this year, with the insurance companies starting to bottleneck a little bit on business processing and having staff going and working remote, I think it's really highlighted service. And so I think it's put a much greater emphasis on it to where the ability for a firm to, on your time frame, get quotes back, designs, get applications scrubbed, or work with you on how to do e-applications and getting business pushed through in a timely manner is probably more important now than it ever has been before. And so what I would tell you is if you haven't experienced our service, you need to. And call our team, talk to a sales director, work some cases, get an app in, see what we do on the new business side, because we take a very proactive approach. Last, I wanted to talk a little bit about our creative marketing solutions. And I think creative is the key word there. Many advisors going into this year were used to having their kind of regular mix of marketing activities that they did. And you'd repeat that month after month after month, and it would produce a certain level of consistency for you. What we've seen over the course of this year is that that's not necessarily the case. And so one of the things that we found is that in order to generate a consistent flow of prospects, you've got to rely on multiple marketing strategies and very well might have to modify or adjust some of the current mix that you have. And so you've really got to take a more tactical approach to how you approach your marketing as well as your budgeting. And so one of the things that we provide is a high level of customization with all the work that we do, whether it's generating prospects, brand awareness, you name it, we can do that over here. And the other thing I would encourage everybody that's on the call today to take a look at is we do have a custom marketing analysis that we offer to our advisors. And what that entails is our creative team will actually do a deep dive with your business to look at what your business looks like, what your goals are from a prospect standpoint, revenue standpoint, all those types of things, and how you're currently marketing. And then they will put together a custom marketing plan for you. So based off of your target demographic, your geographic location, what your goals are, they will put together a plan of recommendations that will help accomplish your objectives. And so it's a great exercise to go through and do. And then secondly, we're in the fourth quarter right now. So we want to close the year really, really strong. And we also want to make sure that we get into 2021 with a lot of good momentum. And so this is a great time to go through that as you're looking at how am I going to close this year out? And then in addition to that, what do I want next year to look like? So if you have questions on that, feel free to reach out and speak with a sales director over here. They'll be more than happy to get that set up with you and go through that with you. So we got Gary Voith on the call today, and what he's going to be talking about is not just SPL, but and how it works, but also have a discussion about taxation, the impact taxation has on wealth transfer, and how to efficiently transfer assets to the next generation. And that has become a bigger and bigger and bigger conversation over the course of this year, and I think it's going to continue to be a bigger conversation for the next couple of decades. And I say that for a couple of reasons. One, and I know Gary's going to talk about this a little bit, but the Secure Act that went into effect in January this year. The Secure Act was one of the most profound pieces of legislation as it pertains to retirement plans that we've seen since the 2006 Pension Protection Act. And so essentially what that was a tax increase on retirement accounts. And then we had the CARES Act that passed earlier in March this year. Over $1.7 trillion of debt that's going to be added in. And then many of you might have seen, in addition to the President and the First Lady getting COVID last night, you might have seen that the House passed the HEROES Act. Right now, that's the amount of debt attached to that is at 2.3 trillion. And there's still some work they have to do on if that's going to get pushed through between now and the end of the year. But ultimately, what that means is if we're racking up debt at that type of rate, taxes are going to have to increase in the future, whether that's tax rates or making modifications to current plans like we saw in the Secure Act, where you basically, by eliminating the stretch IRA alternative and then making it a 10-year payout, you're in effect increasing the amount of tax revenue that you get off those accounts. We're probably going to see those things coming down the pipeline. And the reality is we currently file our taxes according to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2018. That legislation, those guidelines are set to expire December 31st of 2025. So we've got kind of a 5-year window here where taxes are a known quantity, but we know on the back end of that there's going to be a massive change, and more than likely taxes aren't going to be going down. And so all of those things point to the utilization of tax advantaged vehicles, things like Roths, things like life insurance, and the tax-free benefits and wrapper that it provides. And so in any case, Gary, we really appreciate you taking the time to be on the call with us today. I'm looking forward to having you take a deep dive into these things. And for everybody on the call today, again, I think this is a significant opportunity, and it's going to be a bigger and bigger part of your planning discussions that you have with clients. So Gary, I'll hand it over to you and let you take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Curtis, and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for investing your time on a beautiful Friday. Hopefully the weather's beautiful where you are. We're in the autumn fall season now back here in Maryland. But I want to thank you for spending some time. And the great partnership we've had over the years with IMES has been fantastic. I want to thank all of you who have participated in providing business to Baltimore Life. And hopefully we find today some other opportunities you have with providing us some business on the single premium front. Today we are going to be talking about tax efficiency, as Curtis teed up pretty well there, and doing it through our asset transfer program and products that we have to address those needs. In the presentation today, we'll talk about two products in our portfolio, our Generation Legacy and Single Premium Whole Life product. Both of these products are really designed with your senior clients in mind who have what we like to call some leave behind money. Money they don't need to live on, they simply want to leave behind for the next generation or their favorite charities to effectively increase their estate values and do it in a tax efficient way. You know, the research is showing us that, you know, there's trillions of dollars of wealth out there. Obviously, as Curtis said, subjected to tax, and it'll continue to be subjected to tax over the years. 75% of parents believe it's important to leave an inheritance for their children. Only 20% agree strongly that their children will be prepared to effectively handle the wealth they're receiving. 54% believe the families would benefit from a formal plan for that asset transfer, but only 10% actually have such a plan. So it's critical, as we all know, being in the industry, of not only having you know, a sound life insurance protection program in place to cover outstanding debt and estate needs, but also with part of that life insurance program being able to bundle in the idea of effectively transferring wealth through life insurance based on wealth that they've accumulated. And they feel like they want to pass on wealth through CDs and IRAs and other vehicles. Well, there's maybe a more effective way to do that, and that's what we're going to talk about. First product we're going to talk about is Generation Legacy, and this product is designed to take the single premium dollars from non-qualified annuities and other qualified plan funds, such as 401ks and IRAs, 403bs, that's not needed for daily living. It does allow your client the opportunity to leave an estate for their heirs and charities in a tax efficient way through the use of life insurance. Obviously, with single premium products, it does increase the estate based on the single premium paid. This product, Generation Legacy, is issued for ages 60 through 80. And with a single application that you're going to write, we will issue two products: a single premium immediate annuity, which will receive the transfer of the funds, along with a limited premium payment whole life product. Once issued with that single app you're going to write again, Baltimore Life will seamlessly administer both products together to provide all the benefits we're going to talk about. I think that's so important because, I mean, I've been in the business for 42 years. I'm still a licensed agent. And, you know, for years we did this type of combo plan, so to speak, but did it with, you know, two separate products. The administration had to be done by the agent each year to pay premiums. This is a seamless process where it's really all done together and it works very, very well. We have simplified underwriting for this product through 4 tables. We'll talk about that. And the product automatically includes our accelerated death benefit rider, which truly can provide living benefits to your client at a time when it's needed most. So another option that we offer, I mean, ideally, you know, you're going to be working with a client who has a need, and we're taking that client who is the insured, that client whose funds were rolling over from an annuity or qualified plan. But what about those situations where you walk into a household where there is a married couple? And in that situation, you could have one spouse who is healthy and maybe doesn't have the funds, but another spouse in that household who is not healthy, not really insurable, but has the funding for such a product. So we have a spouse option for Generation Legacy where the healthy spouse becomes the life insured and the funding comes from the unhealthy spouse. And those SPIA payouts that are set up, even if that unhealthy spouse dies during the period while the SPIA is funding the life insurance, this SPIA will still continue to pay the life insurance premiums until the product becomes paid up. There is no maximum age limit for the annuitant who is unhealthy when the annuitant is different than the insured. So even though we have a 60 to 80 age limit, that is for the life insured. If you have another annuitant who is unhealthy, that person could be any age in order to help fund the spouse option of Generation Legacy. So it's a nice wrinkle. We were asked a lot for this, and we're able to offer it a couple of years back, and it's been successful out there in the market. So the second product that we're going to be, well, let me go into this first. Let's look at the annuity market. There's about $7.3 billion of in-force deferred annuities out there. Just over 65% are in tax qualified employer-based plans. Nearly 35% of the money are in non-qualified deferred annuities. And you're selling a lot of these annuities, obviously, you're a big annuity shop, but we come across clients that, they're using their IRAs and 401ks and 403bs, and they're looking for, by the way, distribution help. So that's a whole nother opportunity there. But in that distribution of funds, they are looking for part of that wealth to be transferred effectively. Even with the annuities, they buy annuities with the idea that it's providing a decent rate of return, it's tax deferred, but is it really the best product to die with ultimately? So, because we know a significant share, as you know, of that money will be transferred to the next generation. We do know, by the way, that number should be 72 and a half, is the minimum distribution age that we're looking at today. And ultimately, when a person dies with an annuity or qualified fund, the taxation is just simply going to pass to the living family member who's probably in a higher tax bracket than the person who died. So ultimately, we say to ourselves, if you have an annuity, especially, is it really the best product to die with, or is there a more effective way to transfer those funds? Well, let's look at the concept of generation legacy. I want you to think of it conceptually as a gift box, a gift your client's trying to pass to the next generation. And in that gift box, you're going to help facilitate for your client the transfer of funds from qualified plans or non-qualified deferred annuities. Now, in that gift box with a single app that you're going to write again, we're going to issue, Baltimore Life will issue a single premium immediate annuity along with a limited premium payment whole life product. Over a period of either 7 or 10 years, depending on the issue age, Baltimore Life will automatically make annual premium payments from the SPIA to pay premiums on the life product. So what dictates the payment pattern of premiums? It's the issue age. Client issued on the life side is 60 to 74. We will issue a 10-year payout on the SPIA along with the 10-year limited premium payment whole life product. If the client is 75 to 80, a 7-year payout from the SPIA to the life product. So here's where that benefit really becomes apparent and rich for your customer, and that is, what if they were to die during the period of time while the SPIA is funding the life insurance? Well, we know that the life insurance is always there while in force to be paid out on an income tax-free death benefit. And that death benefit is obviously going to be greater than the single premium paid. But if the client dies during the period while the SPIA is funding the life insurance, that SPIA payout, the remaining payments not used to fund the life insurance, would also be paid to the named beneficiary. So the client's beneficiary is receiving both the income tax-free death benefit as well as the remaining payments for the SPIA. So at the end of the 7 or 10-year period, the gift box is basically complete. The SPIA goes away, it's done its job, and now the life insurance continues to provide an income tax-free death benefit, continues to build up cash on a tax-deferred basis, and continues to provide the accelerated death benefit rider that we're going to be talking about. So just to recap, the issue age is 60 to 80. We base our pricing on current age or age at last birthday. Now, the reason this is important is because we're dealing with a product that we're transferring funds from other products and institutions. That transfer process may take 20 to 45 days. And of course, we will issue the policy based on the age your client is the day we receive the funds. No backdating is available. Minimum premium to get this started, it's only $5,000. How many annuity customers do you have out there that have multiple annuities that are great prospects for this product, right? Absolutely great prospects for this product. And of course, those people, again, that are looking for distribution options for their 401ks and 403bs and IRAs. The maximum face amount that we'll issue on the life product based on the single premium paid is $450,000. We have one underwriting class for this product. It's standard, and that standard is a blended rate between standard and table 4 types of risk. So that's where the simplified underwriting will come into play. Premium classes are non-tobacco and tobacco. Both are available. Cash values, they accumulate in the life insurance product on a non-participating basis, so there's a guaranteed cash value element. Partial surrenders, they are available from the life insurance product, but they're permitted after the life product has become paid up. That's 7 or 10 years, depending on the issue age. Loans are available anytime from the life product at a maximum interest rate of 8%. So now let's talk about that accelerated death benefit rider, which truly can provide those living benefits we talked about. I'm sure you're familiar with these with many products that you work on. There are 3 health event triggers that will allow us to accelerate the life insurance death benefit, and they are terminal illness, confinement to a qualified nursing home facility, and in situations of extended care, home health care, and adult daycare. Upon the decision to accelerate, which can happen anytime after issue, a lien for the amount accelerated will accumulate at an annual interest rate of 8% prior to death. We'll show you examples of that in just a moment. The maximum that you can accelerate is $250,000. The minimum is $5,000. But the good news is this benefit is paid out once, it's paid out in a lump sum, and these are unrestricted funds. So, client could use these funds for whatever reason they deem needed. Now, of course, the great advantages of an accelerated death benefit rider really are the fact that many people that are looking for benefits for long-term care types of needs, they really, long-term care policy is the best way to solve that need. But most seniors can't afford the long-term care insurance. So isn't it great to know that they can have this rider as a way to accelerate their life insurance benefits and get unrestricted funds as a result? Let's take a look at the definitions of these riders and the potential payouts. For terminal illness, the client needs to be diagnosed as terminally ill with a life expectancy of 12 months or less. In this case, they can accelerate up to 75% of the death benefits. For qualified nursing and extended care, they can accelerate up to 50% of the death benefits. And for the qualified nursing home confinement, they need to be diagnosed as chronically ill, confined to a nursing home facility for continuously for 90 days with the expectation of a permanent confinement. For the extended care, again, chronic illness needs to exist, has been so for at least 90 days, and now they're requiring care provided by a licensed home health care agency or licensed or state certified adult daycare center. And in both those situations, they can accelerate up to 50% of the face amount of the death benefit. Keep in mind that when I say the maximum of 50 and 75, there are about 6 or 7 states that have different percentages, and you can find that on our state approval chart on our agent website. Chronic illness, as it applies to the nursing home confinement extended care situation, if the client satisfies either of these definitions, we consider them to be chronically ill. The first one is they can't perform 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. So if they can't perform 2 out of 6, they're considered chronically ill, but maybe they're okay on their ADLs, but maybe they're suffering from a severe organic mental illness such as Alzheimer's or dementia. In either case, we consider them to be chronically ill. So let's take a look at some examples of payouts. And the one I want to show you here is, what if the client were to have 100,000 in face, and we're going to say they're terminal in this situation, 12 months or less to live. That means they could accelerate up to $75,000 of death benefit. Now, when they make that transaction, we add a $100 fee to make the transaction, which means the lien is established at $75,100. If they were to die immediately after taking that payment, no time for interest to accrue on the lien, the death benefit would simply be calculated by taking the face amount less the original lien to give you a life insurance death benefit of $24,900. But the more practical payout would be probably this example. They're still terminal. Out of 100,000, they take 75,000. The lien started again at 75,100. But now 1 year later, they die. And at this case, the face amount less 100,000 minus the original lien of $75,100 plus 1 year's worth of interest at 8%, giving you a remaining life insurance benefit of $18,892, again, to be paid income tax free. In this example, I think you would see in a terminal situation, client living 12 months or less, they would have to live over 4 years for the remaining death benefit based on this lien approach to be eroded away. Very, very unlikely that's going to happen. And that's why when you get into terminal illness and not terminal illness, qualified nursing and extended care, the maximum accelerate is 50%. We never really want to see that remaining death benefit erode away. But the riders, technically, could they terminate on the life policy they're attached to? Well, technically they could. What if the life policy ends? And you might say, well, how would the life policy end if the annuity, the SPIA, is paying it each year automatically? Well, Technically, it probably wouldn't, but if the insured came to us and said, hey, I made a mistake here, I'm going to need some of this money back that I gave you, or all of the money back, we could decouple the contracts. The life policy could be surrendered, very little cash after a couple of years into this, and then the remaining payments from the SPIA would be paid out to them. But if that happened, the rider's end. If the insured dies, obviously we pay a death benefit instead. And finally, if you accelerate on this rider, and you, let's say, accelerate at 50% under the qualified nursing home provision, you can't accelerate a second time. It only can be accelerated once. The riders stop in terms of availability after you accelerate one time. Also, as I pointed out, if for some odd reason the person's terminal, they live 4+ years and the interest erodes away any remaining death benefit, the policy would terminate. But in this case, we do give, obviously, the owner the ability to repay all or part of the lien at any time. Even though you accelerate, there's still some cash value in the policy that's accumulating on a tax-deferred basis. If a policy loan, for some reason, is requested along the way, and you have an active lien because someone accelerated the benefit, the loan cannot be processed. We can't have a loan and a lien going on at the same time, only one or the other. Finally, as any good company would tell you, with any rider like this, they should always be consulting their tax advisor, because technically, the benefit could be considered taxable, but usually not. Let's look at some payout possibilities. It's a female 70 non-tobacco user who puts 50 grand, let's say, coming from an IRA, gives them a life insurance benefit at 70 of $78,055. So they've immediately, upon issued, increased their death benefit, their estate value, I should say, by over $28,055. That's pretty good, isn't it? Considering the fact that even at 70, if they die in the first 10 years, the remaining payments from the SPIA would also be paid. Now, here are the payout examples of for the accelerated death benefit rider. This is real cash to a senior at end of life, especially seniors who are strapped for cash, don't have a long-term care insurance, and are looking for ways to pay either for health care needs, or quite frankly, just want to, have some fun at the end of their life and or help their family while they're living. This is cash they could accelerate under that rider. Very, very powerful benefit. I think it's been one of the best riders developed in my 42 years in the business. I think it really provides a great benefit for seniors that have these riders, or anybody that has these riders. So what's another tax advantage of this product? Well, we know that if you have money coming from an IRA, there's never been tax on the gain at that point, right? If you have money coming from an annuity, there's a basis and a gain. Eventually, Uncle Sam's going to want to tax the gain on those products, right? Well, if you're rolling money, let's say, from an IRA that's never been taxed before, and you roll it into the generation legacy product, it's going into a qualified SPIA, which is being used to pay for the life insurance over a 10 or 7-year period. As a result, we're able to help the client spread that tax out on the gain over the same 10 or 7-year period. So it's very important that the client understands upfront that, this isn't a tax-free type of thing. They're going to have to, declare the gain on that money over a 10 or 7-year period. And we will spread that gain out, though, over that period of time, so that we'll get a 1099 on the gain of the money that was rolled over to pay for the life insurance premium. Now, the beauty is that the SPIA payouts that we make do satisfy the RMD requirements starting at 72.5. If death occurs, as I talked about, during the period while the SPIA is paying for the life insurance, the life insurance is always there to be paid out income tax free. But the remaining payments from the SPIA that weren't used to pay for life insurance during the payment period of time would be paid to the Benny, but they would get a 1099 on that distribution based on the payout they selected. So the default method that we pay out the remaining payments from the SPIA are annual payments. So if there were 8 years left when the death occurs on the payment stream, they would get 8 more annual payments. But they could decide they want to take a commuted lump sum of that money. In either case, we'll give them a 1099 based on the distribution they've selected. The other thing to say on taxes based on the application, please make sure that when you are completing the application that you select the box on the app that says you do not want tax withheld from the annuity that you're rolling over. This product is not designed to do a withholding up front of money that you're rolling over. We need every dollar to make the formulas work, to give you the benefits that we're showing you. So please make sure you check that you do not want tax withheld from the annuity. Otherwise, we've got to send everything back to you. So now let's take a look at premiums to death benefits. And I want you to think about those clients you have out there and customers that prospects you'll be meeting that have funds, especially your annuity clients. That's the short list, actually probably the pretty long list of people to initially go out and see. You know, you've sold a number of annuities over the years. You know those people are buying the annuities for the good interest, the deferral of tax. But now you know they probably aren't going to want to take that money as income. They're probably going to want to pass along to their named beneficiaries, their families, their favorite charities. So at 65, if you sold with $50,000 coming from an annuity, let's say, going into Generation Legacy, we're going to issue a 10-year payout on the SPIA with the 10-year limited premium payment life insurance product. For the male, the face amount would be $76,979, and for the female, the face amount would be $86,605. So you've immediately increased the estate of this. Let's show this of the female. Let's use that example. The female 65 put in 50. They've got a 10-year payout going on. You've immediately increased her estate value by $36,605 at issue. That's a great thing, knowing that if she dies in the first 10 years while the SPIA is around, the remaining payments from the SPIA would also be paid. So she says to you, well, Curtis, what if I'm in a marginal tax rate of 24%. I take, and just leave the money in the annuity, right? It would take her over 18 years in order to accumulate the $36,605 that you increased her estate by, assuming a 3% interest rate in a tax deferred type of annuity. So, we know the power of having this product is immediate benefits as opposed to having to think that, well, I can do better in the annuity over time. It's an immediate benefit. That's the great thing of a life insurance product being there. At death, of course, the $86,605, which is the total payout of the life insurance product, would always be there to be paid out income tax free. Here's the 75-year-old, a little shorter, or a little older, shorter life expectancy, but the numbers still look good. By putting $50,000 in, knowing this client's 75, we're going to do a 7-year payout on the SPIA, along with the 7-year paid up life product. For the male, the face amount is $61,209, and for the female, the face amount is $66,675. So even at 75 years old, you've increased this lady's estate by basically $16,675 at issue, knowing if she dies in the first 7 years, the remaining payments from the SPIA would also be paid. For the man, you would have a estate value increase of just over $11,000, again, knowing the SPIA is there to be paid out in the first 7 years. Great product, really has immediate benefits that people see. It's pretty obvious to them, and it's a great product to generate referrals on. Once people get the concept of asset transfer and they start seeing how their numbers apply, this is a great product to be asking for referrals for early and often. This is a spreadsheet look at an example. Here's female 70 non-tobacco putting 50 grand in, has a cost basis from that annuity of 40,000. So you can see the 50 grand going in. You can see the SPIA payouts that are projected at $5,250 a year to pay for the life insurance. Out of that amount of $5,250, the amount excluded from tax based on interest and the cost basis is just over $4 grand a year. The estimated taxable income, again, based on the interest factor over 10 years, is $1,249.50. This is the amount they're going to get the 1099 on each year, and it's very important they understand that up front. Gosh, you don't want them to be surprised when they get that first 1099. The life insurance death benefit is $78,055, and of course, if they die early while the SPIA is around, here's the commuted lump sum of the SPIA payouts. The nice thing is we have this product is a non-illustrated product, so an illustration is not required, but we do have proposal software available on our agent site that you can use. We also allow you to show this using our mobile link software. You can do it right on your smartphone, smart tablet, and you can get this type of ledger look. So you don't need a signed illustration. you really could do everything on your smartphone and smart tablet to show the values you need, not only for this product, but also single premium whole life. Forms, simply go out to our agent website. You're going to have product toolkits set up for every product that you're contracted for with us. You'll be able to go through a couple of quick questions. It'll select your forms for you. You can print them, you can order them. And of course, if this is your first time with this product, pick up the phone and call your friends at IMES. They'll be able to walk you through that and get you going, to get everything that you need for that first case. The sales materials out on that same agent website and the product toolkits, you'll find a lot of great sales and marketing tools, including our mobile link software. Write this one down if you can. It's mobile.baltlife.com, mobile.baltlife.com. And when you go out to that site, you'll be able to get to our mobile link software where you can generate not only rates and values, but also all the product information and underwriting information for you. So let's get into the time we have today with the second product quickly, and that is our single premium whole life product. Single premium whole life is a second product. It's the older of the two products in the portfolio, and I say that for a reason. You'll see there was some things that we did a little bit different with the accelerated death benefit rider, which I think can be very beneficial, and we'll talk about that. But this product has very similar goals in mind. It's still designed for the client who wants to create an estate, increase their estate on a tax efficient basis, but it has some key differences, and we're going to talk about that. Single premium for this product is now, the target is after tax cash funds, CDs, money markets, mutual funds, and where appropriate, 1035 life-to-life product exchanges. The issue ages are 50 to 85, broader issue age because we're working with after-tax cash funds. Simplified underwriting. With this product, we go through 8 tables of simplified underwriting. We'll talk about that. Also, in case of the terminal illness, nursing home confinement, extended care situations, we automatically apply the accelerated death benefit rider in all states where it's approved at issue, and that's generally just about all the states. So we do want to remind you that the issue ages are 50 to 85, but it is based on current age or age at last birthday. As I mentioned, we have 2 tiers of underwriting. We have a standard class, just like Generation Legacy, which is standard through Table 4 types of risk. And then we have a special underwriting tier, which is Table 5 through Table 8 types of risk. So a client with a few more challenging health conditions could qualify. Same premium classes, non-tobacco and tobacco. And again, the minimum premium is only $5,000. How many clients do you have out there that have CDs and money markets that basically say, well, gee, I want to set up these multiple CDs for my kids, my grandkids, my favorite charity. So when I die, the money is there. People kind of silo their money, right? Well, that's great. But what if we were able to show them that they could increase their estate value by using this product, using that same siloing effect? Here's another example. What if you work with a senior client who says to you, Curtis, I really don't need life insurance. I have a burial account set up. Well, that can mean one of 2 things. They either have a pre-arrangement at the local funeral home, or they've set up, let's say, a $15,000 CD at the local bank that their kids know that's the money set aside to bury mom or dad. Well, here's an example of, let's say, a 70-year-old that you say, Mrs. Jones, you're 70, you're going to live many more years. What if I was able to take that $15,000 CD you have at the bank for your burial account and provide your family with a nearly $25,000 income tax-free death benefit? Oh, by the way, if you become terminal in a nursing home or an extended care situation, you can actually get at some of that $25,000 to help with your end of life needs that you might have, or end of life desires you might have. And we can still design it that you still have money there for a death benefit. That's really, what I call the burial account approach. So many agents get started selling single premium life in this way, using that simple concept. But they quickly understand, once you get a taste of selling this product, the average premium we see on Generation Legacy is about $60,000. The average premium we see on single premium life is about $30,000 to $35,000. But the only way you're going to get to those average premiums or greater is by doing good fact finding. Asset transfer market is all about good fact finding. Not only finding the funds, but finding out what the goal your client has with those funds. That's the success to getting in this market and doing it very, very well. So the maximum face amount that we see on single premium whole life is based on what we call the maximum net amount at risk. And that's just the difference between the single premium you pay and the face amount that we issue. And based on age and underwriting class, these are those limits. Cash values, they accumulate in the life insurance product on a non-participating basis, guaranteed cash value, of course. Partial surrenders. With this product, since it is after-tax cash funds that have started it, we permit partial surrenders during the first 6 policy years on a certain percentage tiered type of basis. So if the client needs to get at funds in the first 6 years, before they have access to all the funds after 6 years, they can do partial surrenders from this product without a problem. If that's something they really need to do, starting in the 7th year, all the money is available to them. Loans, they're available at any time at a maximum rate of 8%. So the accelerated death benefit rider, again, the same exact 3 health event triggers are automatically there for them that you heard in Generation Legacy. The same benefit of getting the money once in a lump sum, and these are unrestricted funds. Same benefit there. But with this product, because we designed the rider first before Generation Legacy, we set it up under the ability to do either a full acceleration or a partial acceleration. And let me describe how that works to you. For the terminal illness, applying the same definition, 12 months or less to live, they can accelerate in a full accelerated benefit up to 95% of the face amount, less a $250 admin charge. So if you had $100,000 of face, they could take $95,000 out minus the $250 in the accelerated or the admin charge. But they might say, you know what? I need some life insurance benefits. So we've got 100 grand. Let's accelerate 75,000 of that at 95% less the admin charge and keep $25,000 as a life insurance benefit. That's called the partial acceleration. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with why there's a holdback, so to speak, of, in this case, 5%, is that anytime a company is going to pay out a life insurance benefit before the actual death occurs, there's a cost for doing that. So with Generation Legacy, we do it through a lien concept. With this product, we have a percentage holdback that we use. For the qualified nursing, same definition to qualify, but now, because they're going to live a little bit longer, the maximum accelerated rate is 90% of the face less the $250 charge, or again, you can do the partial acceleration. And then for extended care, home health care, and adult daycare, same definition to qualify that we talked about, because now they're going to live longer. The maximum accelerated rate is 80%. Same definitions for chronic illness, 2 out of 6 activities of daily living, or a client suffering from a severe organic mental illness. So now let's take a look at premiums to death benefits. Still looking pretty good here, isn't it? Actually, the payout for the single premium whole life is higher than Generation Legacy by a bit, because this product doesn't have that SPIA payout. And I apologize, we've got a dog. We all have dogs. They sometimes bark. So it's 65 for 50 grand of single premium for the male. We would have a death benefit in the standard underwriting class of $80,385. At the special underwriting class, that death benefit is about $5,000 to $6,000 less on a regular basis. So the death benefit at the special underwriting class for all ages and genders is about $5,000 to $6,000 less. For females, the face amount here for 50 grand in premium is $90,909. And again, the reduction in death benefit is about $5,000 to $6,000 less. If you take a look at the what we just did for this female 65 on the standard underwriting class, we've increased her estate by almost $41,000 at issue. That's amazing, isn't it? That you can provide that immediate bump or increase in someone's estate like that. And if the client says to you, well, I've got the money, I've invested in a taxable account at 3%, and I'm in a 24% bracket, it would take them almost 27 years just to accumulate the nearly $41,000 you gave them as an increase in their estate value at issue, knowing that the life insurance benefit is always there to pay an income tax-free death benefit, in this case of almost $91,000. For the 70-year-old, older, shorter life expectancy, but the numbers still look good, don't they? So for this 70-year-old putting in 50 grand, the life insurance benefit would be just over 72,000 in the standard underwriting class for the male. And at the special underwriting class, again, it's about $5,000 to $6,000 less. For the female, that death benefit would be 80,515 with a reduction at the special underwriting class of about $5,000 to $6,000. So with the 70-year-old, you're still seeing an increase in estate value of over $22,000 at issue. Wow, what a great product story to tell. I can't tell you how many times I presented this myself to seniors that were trying to set up CDs for their grandkids, for example. And I said, well, why would you do that if you can have this type of immediate benefit? It really opens their eyes quickly and provides a great opportunity to close that sale and get referrals, more importantly. Forms, we have, again, the same story on forms. You go to our agent website, go to the product toolkit, you get all the forms that you need, you get all the sales materials that you need. And again, contact your friend at IMES who have not only this stuff, but a lot of other stuff they can help you with in the asset transfer market. So let me talk about point of decision underwriting. You work so hard to not only get the lead and sell the lead, but once you finally make that sale, gosh, I got to go through underwriting. Well, we have a point of sale decision process that's well over 90%. It's been closer to 100% over the years. And it just allows you that once you complete the app, you're going to pick up the phone with your client there in our call center. You're going to complete about a 12-minute or less interview. And, we're basically going to re-ask them the health questions on the app. We're going to get their permission to get the data we need to look at from the MIB and the prescription drug database. And we're going to be able to work out those issues. If there's any issues in the databases as compared to the health questions, we can get that clarity right then and there and make an immediate underwriting decision. After the decision is made and the interview is done, any underwriting decision will only be given to you, not your client. So if for some reason the client does this interview on their own because you can't do it that day, we're not going to give the decision to the client. We're going to give it to you. You're the one who's going to communicate it to your client. We will also give you a confirmation number on that interview that we ask you to write on the app you're going to submit. Please make sure that when you finish getting the underwriting decision, no matter which one it is, even if it's declined, to send us all the forms. You need that for compliance reasons. Phone number for the call center, 888-368-9678. The hours are 9 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Fridays. These are Eastern times. We do support English and Spanish languages. Other languages are available upon request. And if you have hearing impaired clients, we have TTY services in English and Spanish. Key thing to remember is the interview must be completed within 5 days of completing the app. And that's very important to get this done successfully. Now, you can certainly make this call to the call center right after you complete the app. That's the most efficient way. That's assuming that the call center is open. But if for some reason you do this app on a Saturday or after hours, you might say, well, what do I do then? Well, you still want to call that number I gave you, and it's all over the application package you'll print out for this. So you don't have to remember this number. It's all in our materials. And you can call right after the interview's done on a Saturday and leave your name and number, your client's name and number, and a date and time you want us to call them. We will outbound call your client. You don't have to be present if you don't want to be. And we'll get the interview done and call you back again with the underwriting decision. Again, we're not going to give that underwriting decision to the client. You're the one that's in control, and you're going to be delivering the underwriting decision. Pre-qual for the apps. We have an app for each product, and the reason we do is that for Generation Legacy, there is one tier for the product that's standard through Table 4. And so basically, we have one section of medical questions, a Part A. If you get all no to the Part A questions, height and weight look good, MIB and drug history look good, you're going to qualify for Generation Legacy. For single premium whole life, because there's 2 tiers of underwriting, standard and special, if you get all no in Part A and B questions and everything else looks good, you're going to issue a standard underwriting class. If you get all no in Part A and 1 yes in Part B, we're going to issue the special underwriting class. So, in this case, that gives you just a quick idea of how to look at the app in a pre-qual type of setting. So with that, I think the thing that I did want to show you before we finish, if possible, is well, a lot of people trying to find me today, I guess. Hold on. Let's pull this up real quick. If I can, slideshow current. Is I've been talking about the product toolkits out there for you. And when you go to our agent website, you're going to see these colored boxes at the top. So any product that you're contracted for with us, you'll see the color box for those products. So Generation Legacy or Single Premium Whole Life, for example. This is what that page might look like when you open it. Has all the materials that you need to market through us. Again, you want to go back to your friends at IMES for help there if you need help in any way. And especially if you're trying to contract with us, obviously you want to go to your friends at IMES. The other thing I did want to emphasize here, and I have a lot of other stuff in this deck, but I'm not going to go through it with you today in terms of marketing support, is mobile link. This is a really important one, and you can use this like right now, even if you're not contracted. You go to mobile.boltlife.com. And when you get to the mobile link page, it's not an app you're downloading from an app store. It's actually a web site. But when you're there, make sure you save this site to your phone. That way it'll create a shortcut on your phone that'll launch just like any other app. But once you get to mobile link, it'll allow you to look at the product information, the underwriting guidelines, and then again, do a quick rate and value calculator. So that, that ledger I showed you today with Generation Legacy, it'll actually show you that ledger and you can show that to your client. It really works quite well. So that's mobile link, and it has it for both Single Premium Whole Life and Generation Legacy. Let me click through this real quick if I could, and I want to show you just one or two other quick things here if I could. We have other tools out there for you. We have fact find tools, which I think can help you quickly not only determine what the client's assets are, because we talked about how important fact finding is, but also to make sure the client has enough monthly income to make sure that they're going to not need the funds for income. You can show from the assets that you've gathered if they took a piece of those funds and move them into one of the products, the impact that would make on their estate. Also, some of the key dialoguing questions are there for you. We have a tool out there that has single premium sales ideas. Each of these bullets has a full explanation of some of those ideas, and I went through a couple of the sales ideas today. Take a look at that. I think it'll help you develop a quick prospecting list. We have a number of other one-pagers that you could use for mailers, leave behind pieces, event marketing pieces, which go through the features and benefits of the products, put you into situational type of promotion for the product, and then you can customize it with your contact information. We have a Excel file out there that helps you with Single Premium Whole Life, show that client who says, well, what if I put the money in the CD and it's taxed at this rate and I'm getting this rate of interest? You can quickly compare the CD impact with how it would look under a Single Premium Whole Life product and the impact that would make on the estate value. We have other white papers and other articles out there to support you. And again, all this is found out on our agent site. So with that, Curtis, that is the show today. I want to make sure I stay tight on our 12 o'clock noon time and get people into their weekends. But thanks so much again for your support of IMES and also your business at Baltimore Life. We know you have choices and we appreciate you considering us.
Absolutely, Gary, and I appreciate you taking the time to be on the call today. I hope what many of you saw is the same thing we do, which is Baltimore Life has got a very strong portfolio of products, and the overarching theme, as I started the conversation with, is tax efficiency and planning around the impact that has as people save, as they go through retirement, and as they try and transfer wealth is going to continue to be a growing conversation, is going to be a bigger and bigger part of what you're talking about. And so this is a great opportunity to show clients how to generate better leverage, yield, and get their assets into a more tax advantaged position. So I would encourage all of you, reach out to your sales director. Our number is 888-255-5055. We'd love to talk to you more about your business and where these products fit, as well as with what Gary ended on, how to market these and get in front of more people. So appreciate the time, everyone. Have a good weekend, and we look forward to speaking with you.